At least 3 fertility clinics in Alabama have now paused in vitro fertilization, or IVF, after the Alabama Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos in a lab have the same rights as children. The fallout sending shockwaves throughout the state and sending Republican politicians scrambling. You see, IVF is extremely popular. I mean, extremely popular. As Kellyanne Conway's own polling firm found, 86% of all voters support access to IVF, including 78% of self-identified pro-life advocates and 83% of evangelical Christians. So it's no wonder Nikki Haley is now desperately trying to backpedal after agreeing with the Alabama Supreme Court ruling that embryos are babies. Today, she says IVF should still be available. Because if there's one place Republican politicians do not want to be in an election year, it's on the losing side of a very popular issue. Tara Setmayer worked as a GOP communications director on Capitol Hill. She is now a senior advisor for the Lincoln Project. She joins me now. Tara, it is so good to have you here tonight. I want to play for you a little bit of Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville on that ruling.
Do you have a reaction to the Alabama Supreme Court ruling on the fact that embryos are children?
Yeah, I was all for it. We need to have more kids. We need to have an opportunity to do that. And I thought this was the right thing to do. But
IVF is used to have more children, and right now IVF services are paused at some of the clinics in Alabama. Aren't you concerned that this could impact people who are trying to have kids?
Well, that's for another conversation.
I think that conversation is now, Tara. How is this Alabama ruling and the threat to IVF roiling the Republican politics as you see it right now?
Well, the idiocy of Senator Tuberville is palpable and just extraordinary at times. This is not the only time he's sounded like an absolute moron, and he's paid for by the taxpayers of Alabama. Listen, this is another example of a kryptonite issue for Republicans. They know that the majority of the American people are pro-choice, and the overwhelming majority of people are pro-IVF, including their own constituents in the Republican Party, including the evangelicals who overwhelmingly support IVF. There have been 8 million babies born through IVF in this country. So according to this Alabama Supreme Court ruling, I guess then all of those babies and all of those families who have had the gift of life, thanks to this technology, should not have been born. And all of those people who are looking forward to having children that suffer from infertility, which is over 6 million women in this country, they just shouldn't have that opportunity. Republicans do not want to have this discussion. Because if I'm the Democrats, I'm coming out and showcasing all of the families in my district or state or in a national election that have had successful IVF pregnancies and say to them, I challenge Republicans to say that these children shouldn't have had an opportunity at life. I mean, the extremism now is really beginning, I think, to sink in for some people, particularly women across this country who feel as though they are under attack. And they are. The rights of women in this country are under attack daily, and the Republican Party is at the helm of it.
Well, and you had yesterday Nikki Haley saying that she agreed with the Alabama Supreme Court that embryos are children, but later on trying to clarify her remarks and now saying IVF should be available. What are your thoughts on, as an example of, to your point, this is a space Republicans just don't want to be in?
Well, Nikki Haley flip-flopping on an issue and having to backpedal and then explain again, it's just another day that ends in Y. This is part of the weakness of her candidacy. And this is coming from someone who used artificial reproductive technology to have her own child. So these people are just unbelievable at times. And I'm glad that we're pointing this out. She knows that this is not an issue they want to argue. She knows that the idea of banning IVF is out of the mainstream, so she had to clarify. She was trying to cater to Republican primary voters who are on the extreme, out of the mainstream on this, and then realize, uh-oh, wait a minute, that's not the right answer. So I need to keep myself honest in this and clarify. Look, Republican strategists across the country know that the abortion issue, the women's rights issue, is a losing one for them. And there are over a dozen states that have abortion on the ballot this year for referendums. And in those swing states where the abortion issue comes up, places like Michigan, Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, they do not want to have women coming out in large numbers, particularly Republican women, pro-choice women, and voting as single-issue voters on this, because that could swing the election for Democrats. Republicans know this. That's why Kellyanne Conway put that memo out, trying to tell them, "Hey guys, you don't want this issue front and center. It's a loser for us," and it should be. Women's rights should not be under attack in 2024. This is not an episode of The Handmaid's Tale. But if you empower these people and let them get voted into office, it will be.
Tara Setmayer, always bringing it. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tara.